I was signing nothing, yet my name kept approving million-dollar deals in the system. My own digital signature appeared on contracts I had never even seen. And when I checked the security logs, every single approval showed it was done from my device. At times, I wasn't even in the office. Then I opened the live access records, and my breath stopped. Someone had been using my identity like they were living my life. But before we start today's story, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. My name is Daniel Carter. I'm 32 years old. 2 weeks earlier, everything changed the day my uncle died. He left me his entire company, Harrington and Carter Industries. I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't even working at that level before. I was just his nephew who occasionally helped with small operations. But overnight, I became CEO, and from the very first day, something felt wrong. At first, it was subtle. An internal transfer I didn't approve. A vendor contract signed under my name. A hiring decision I never made. I thought it was a system glitch, until the finance department called me directly. "Sir, did you approve a $600,000 offshore transfer last night?" I froze. "No, I didn't approve anything." There was a long silence. Then the man on the phone said something that changed everything. "But it's your signature, sir. Verified through your biometric login." That night, I didn't go home. I stayed in my office alone, staring at my computer like it might explain itself. My assistant, Lena Brooks, 29, was the only one who stayed late with me. She was calm, organized, and always seemed to know where everything was. "You look exhausted," she said softly. "I feel like I'm being erased from my own company," I replied. She smiled lightly. "Maybe it's just pressure. New CEOs always feel this." But something in her voice didn't sit right. The next morning, things escalated. Security walked into my office without knocking. "Daniel Carter, you need to come with us." "For what?" I stood up instantly. "Corporate fraud, unauthorized financial approvals, identity misuse." My heart dropped. "I didn't do any of it," I shouted. "Check the system logs." "We already did," the officer replied coldly. "Everything leads back to you." As they escorted me out, I saw employees whispering. Some looked confused, some looked afraid, and some looked like they were expecting this. That was the moment I realized someone had already prepared my downfall. That night, I made a decision. If the system said I did it, I would prove I didn't. I installed hidden cameras in my office, 4 of them. One inside a smoke detector, one behind a shelf, one inside my monitor, and one disguised as a pen on my desk. I told no one, not even. The next day, I acted normal. I signed documents, I attended meetings, I smiled like everything was fine. But inside, I was waiting. That evening, I left early. But I didn't go home. I went straight to a private monitoring room I set up. My hands were shaking as I opened the live feed. Empty office. Silent hallway. Flashing lights from standby systems. Then 8:52 p.m. The door opened. Lena walked in. No hesitation, no fear. Like she belonged there more than I did. She sat at my desk, opened my laptop, and typed my login. It unlocked instantly. My stomach dropped. "How does she know my credentials?" I whispered. Then she connected a device to my system. Not a USB drive. A cloning injector. She wasn't guessing anything. She already had full access. Within minutes, approval started rolling in. Transfers, contracts, legal authorizations, all under my name. Then she leaned back in my chair and whispered, "He still thinks he's in control." My blood turned cold, because I wasn't alone. The door opened again. Ryan Carter, 34, my cousin, walked in. He looked completely relaxed, almost like this was a normal routine. "Everything ready?" he asked. Lena nodded. "He'll be framed within 48 hours. The audit trail is already pointing to him." Ryan smiled. "Good. Once he's gone, the board won't question anything." I felt sick. They weren't fixing a mistake. They were building my replacement. Then Ryan suddenly stopped speaking. His eyes shifted slightly, toward something above my desk, toward the hidden camera, my hidden camera. For a few seconds, no one spoke. Then Lena noticed his stare. "What is it?" Ryan didn't blink. Then he slowly said, "Did you install something in here?" My heart stopped. He stepped closer to my desk, closer to my camera, and then he pulled out a small device from his pocket, a signal scanner. It started beeping faster, faster, faster. Lena's face changed instantly. "That's not possible," Ryan whispered. "He's watching us." And right at that moment, Ryan looked directly into the camera, like he could see me sitting in the dark room. Then he said something that froze my entire body. "Daniel, you should trusted no one." The screen suddenly flickered. The feed didn't just cut. It was shut down from the inside. And just before the last camera went black, I saw Ryan walking toward it, reaching out, like he knew exactly where I was. Then my phone lit up. Unknown number. One message. "Now we know you're watching." And the office door in the live system reopened from the inside. My phone was still in my hand when the message lit up again. "Now we know you're watching." And then, The live feed of my office came back, but it wasn't empty anymore. Ryan was standing right in front of my desk, looking directly into the camera, like he was waiting for me to return. My throat went dry, because that meant one thing. They didn't just discover the camera, they let me keep watching, and that scared me more than anything else. I whispered to myself, this can't be real, this can't be happening. But then Lena walked into the frame too, calm, collected, smiling. And she said something that made my entire body go numb. He's alone now. We should finish this tonight. Ryan nodded slowly. Security system is already looping. He won't see anything after this. I quickly switched to backup camera access. Nothing. All feeds were still active, but controlled. They were letting me see only what they wanted me to see. That's when I realized this wasn't just betrayal. This was planned control. Every move I made, they already expected it. Suddenly, my office camera feed shifted, and I saw something I didn't expect. A third person, standing behind them. My uncle's old business partner, Victor Hale, 52. The man I thought had left the company years ago. He walked into the office slowly. Ryan and Lena immediately straightened, like he was above them. Victor looked at my desk and smiled. So, he finally noticed. My hand started shaking. What is this? I whispered in the empty room. On screen, Ryan spoke first. You said he wouldn't figure it out this early. Victor didn't even look at him. He didn't. We allowed it. My heart dropped. Allowed it? Victor sat down in my chair like it belonged to him. And then he said the words that broke everything I believed. Daniel was never supposed to inherit the company. I froze. Lena stepped closer. The will was altered. We made sure of it after the funeral. My legs almost gave out. They altered the will after my uncle died. Victor continued calmly. Your uncle trusted the wrong people. And you were never meant to be CEO. You were just a placeholder until the system stabilized. I couldn't breathe. Everything I lived through, the approvals, the fraud, the accusations, it wasn't random. It was engineered. But then something even worse happened. Victor turned slightly toward the camera and smiled directly at me. How does it feel, Daniel, watching your own life being rewritten in real time? I stood up so fast my chair fell back. No, I whispered. No, this isn't possible. Then Ryan leaned closer to the camera again. We didn't just use your signature, we cloned your behavioral pattern. Every click, every decision. Even your writing style in emails. Lena added softly. You were predictable. My chest tightened. They weren't just framing me. They were replacing me digitally and legally. But I still had one question. Why keep me alive? As if Victor heard my thoughts, he answered. Because we needed someone to take the fall. Then he paused and added something colder. And you're already the perfect criminal on paper. Suddenly, my backup phone rang. Unknown number again. I answered. A distorted voice said only one line. Leave the city tonight, or we activate the final transfer. What transfer? I asked, but the line went dead. Back in the office feed, Lena suddenly looked at the screen again. Her smile faded. Victor, he's not alone. Ryan turned sharply. What do you mean? She pointed at my camera. No CEO installs 4 cameras unless he suspects someone else already. Silence. For the first time, they looked unsure. Victor slowly stood up and walked closer to the camera until his face filled the screen. Daniel, if you're watching this, then you've already made your last mistake. And then he said the words that froze my soul. The final transfer is not money. It's your identity being permanently reassigned. My screen flickered again. This time, not from their side, from mine. My banking account started logging out. My corporate access vanished one by one. Even my biometric login showed. Access cell. I dropped my phone. They're wiping me out, I whispered. And then my office feed showed something terrifying. Security entered the room, but they weren't arresting anyone. They were removing evidence, erasing fingerprints, resetting systems. Like my entire existence in the company was being deleted in real time. Lena looked at Ryan and said quietly, once it's done, there will be no Daniel Carter left in any system. Ryan nodded. Not even legally. My breath hitched. I realized the truth in that moment. They weren't framing me for a crime. They were erasing me from reality. Suddenly, Victor gave one final order. Finalize it. And Ryan walked toward my desk, holding a digital override device. He plugged it in. My screen started flashing red. Final identity transfer initiated. My name, my signature, my financial identity, everything started moving out of my control. I grabbed my laptop in panic. No. But then something unexpected happened. A new notification appeared on my screen. Commander Brequist detected. Victor frowned in the feed. What is that? Lena froze. That's not us. Ryan stepped back. And then, a new voice came through the system speakers in my office room. Calm, familiar, but impossible. Hello, Daniel. I stopped breathing. Because that voice belonged to my uncle, and the system went completely black. If this story kept you hooked until the end, Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another powerful story. And remember, sometimes the truth isn't what we expect, it's what we choose to believe before we have all the facts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next story.